said down. We're going to inhale to lift. We're going to exhale, squeeze back and down. Doesn't matter what your ribs are doing at this point. Let's take a slightly wider stance. Get those arms going into it. Bigger arms, big arms. Let that body just move with it. And then open everything up. And then I want you to bring your feet back into parallel. I'm going to show you from sideways. Then I want you to keep your arms by your ears, but I want you to pull your knees back so they're over your ankles, because mine are a little ahead. So I'm going to pull my knees back. And then your hips are probably ahead. So I want you to pull your hips back. And then your ribs are probably popped up. So I want you to pull your ribs down. And then wherever your arms are, if your upper body is swayed, let's bring that in line. And then ears in line with all of that. So we can do that a couple times. Swing your arms a few times. Open it up. Sway that position. If that's uncomfortable, you can always support your low back. And then from that position, knees go back over the heels. Hips come up over the knees. Ribs pull down. Shoulders in line right over your hips. Ears over that. Swing those arms 2 times and then open it up and then right back into place. Knees, hips, ribs down, shoulders, ears over. Swing those arms 1 time up and then pull it all together and arms come down. And then check in, make sure your weight is evenly distributed over your feet. You can look down the side and see if your knees are in front of your heels. It'd be really hard for them to be behind. Are your hips ahead? Are they behind? Bring them directly over the knees. Where are your shoulders? Are they ahead? Are they back? Pull them right over your hips. And then finally, where's your head and your ears? Are they in line over your shoulders? And then I just want you to rotate your palms open and feel how that opens up your chest. But as you do that, you didn't pop, right? So you didn't pop your ribs, you just opened that up. We're going to close those down. We're going to open them up. We're going to do this through our nose. We're going to breathe in and out. So we're going to inhale and open and exhale and close. Notice if the shoulders start to creep up by your ears, try to keep them out. So we're just mobilizing through that shoulder area. Keep that going. Perhaps you could play with a different toy. Yeah. All right, just 2 more times, and then leave those arms open. Feel that openness across your chest and across that upper back. Lengthen through, tall through that spine, ears in line. All right, keep those ribs pulled down. Lift that left leg up, point the toe, and then flex the foot and push the heel into the ground with just a little bit of force for me. Left toe or right toes point, flex, push down. So it's not quite a slam, but it's a little bit of boom. Lift, press down, lift, press down. All this time, keep that chest open, keep those ribs pulled down, and you give me just a little bit of force as you hit that foot. So we're building a little bone density here. And we'll add on in just a second. So you should be making a little bit of sound as you hit the floor. 1 more time. Nice. Now this time we lift and now we practice that balance. Keeping your balance on that right leg, tap your left toes and lift, tap and lift. So this leg is supporting and this leg is working right through that hip flexor and those ribs are staying down. Good. 2 more. And then we shift weight. So weight on that left leg, right leg comes up, check that balance, find that balance, tap and lift, tap and lift, tap and lift. Abs stay strong as you pull those legs up and in. Grow tall through your spine. Notice if you sat into that hip, try and keep it directly under you. 2 more times. Nice. Bring that down. All right. Left leg out to the side. Again, we're standing on that right leg. I want you to roll that leg open. Stay stable. This hip is going to want to move. So maybe put your hand on it to not let it move. Stay tall, up and down. So you're going to feel like woo woo. But I want you to do your best to lift and tap and stay stable in that standing leg. Work those abs by stabilizing through here. I feel like I'm a horse counting. You can can do that if you want. Last two and last one. Whew. All right, shift that weight onto that left leg, right leg off to the side, and then rotate it open. Again, this hip is going to want to move out to the side, so do your best to keep it tall, lift, bring it down and tap. And again, you can lift and tap, use those abs on this side, or a little more, you're using your abs everywhere, but a little more focus on this side. Good. And you can count like a horse, or you can just tap and lift. This leg should be supporting. You should feel a little bit of work there, a little bit of hip flexor here. Two more. And then bring that down. All right. Last one, step a little bit ahead with your right leg and step a little bit behind with your left. I'm going to actually go a little sideways just so you can see. We're going to bend that back leg. We're going to flex through the heel, and we're just going to push straight back, working those glutes just a little bit. And again, still working that balance. When you push back, try not to let that belly pull out, right? So try and keep it in even as you're pushing back. If you need to put your foot down and do that instead, lift and push down, that's fine. Or if you can stay with the balance, just do that. And relax. Weight on your left leg, right knee bends, flex it, push behind you. Stay tall. Again, try not to tip forward. Tailbone is long, abs are in, even though they're going to want to walk, walk, right? So do your best to keep them, keep an eye on them, or keep a hand on them for kinesthetic feedback. And again, this is the option to lift and curl and then tap the toes down if you feel balance is challenging. Very nice. All right, shake all that out. The lower body should feel good, nice and balanced. We're going to do some high planks today. So we're going to start in that wide stance at the back of your mat, hands on your thighs. Roll those shoulders open. So we did that work earlier. Let's open those arms out to the side, rotate the thumbs, and then see if you can hinge and get your spine parallel to the ground. From here, check on those abs. Mine are hanging out. So pull those suckers in, but do that without tucking, right? So still in neutral spine. Tailbone is long. Check on that. Is it tucked under? Can you extend it and pull the abs in? Then bring the arms to the side. And all of that should take any pressure off of the back because my abs are supporting. Now I'm just going to walk it out, slide into a high plank position, arms right underneath, and then we're going to walk our feet together. We're just holding this high plank for now. Squeeze the shoulders back out of your ears, head in line with your spine. Little option here, point the right toes, keep them on the ground, pull the abs in, and slowly lift that leg just in line with the hip. Make sure you don't lift it higher or it'll collapse your spine. Bring it down. Point your left toes. Lift the leg even with your hips. Bring it down. Shift back, walk back, down dog, wide stance. I want you to walk back enough that you can get your heels down and get a stretch in that upper back. So you don't want to be rounded. I want you to really press the head in between the arms, get a nice stretch right back here. And then we're going to slide it forward again. High plank, feet together, hips in line, make sure they didn't stay piped, right? This time, you're going to point the right toes, and you're going to bring that right knee to your left elbow, but look and make sure you didn't lift your hips, right? Hold and bring that back. Deep breath in. Point the left toes, bring them to the right elbow, come back, hinge, walk back, wide stance, drop, really press your chest in between your arms. Maybe you can go a little farther this time with those heels down. Nod yes and shake no. Slide it forward. Walk those feet together. High plank, hands are right underneath your shoulders, abs in, tailbone tucked. Point your right toes, bring that right knee to your right elbow without moving your hips. Press it back. Left knee, left elbow, press it back, pike it back, down dog. Stay with a narrow stance or go to that nice wide stance so you can really get that chest to drop through. Last time, 5 plank. Point your right toes. Bring that knee to your left elbow. Bring it back. Bring it to your right elbow. Bring it down. Left toes point. Right elbow, back. Left elbow, back. Woo! Hike up in your down dog. Go to wide stance if you want. You can let your arms hang for a moment. Pull yourself down towards the ground. Maybe even take your hands to the base of the neck and pull down to the base of the skull. Get length in your upper body. And then we're sliding out, but we're going to bend our knees and put them on the ground and press back. Resting position. Rotate those thumbs to the sky and slide your shoulder blades back for a different kind of opening and feeling some work in between those shoulder blades. And then we'll come up and we're just going to roll through a couple cat-cows, loosening up that spine, maybe even putting your hands a little bit ahead so you could undulate through cat-cow if you like. You can even do that staggered stance if you like. This one's kind of up to you. Or you can even do hands to one side as you cow-cat or cat-cow. All righty. And then just end in that cow position. We're going to take a moment, take our right hand to those low abs. They, again, they're probably a little bit on vacation, so pull them up and in. And as always, do that without rounding your spine. Put your right hand back down. I want you to round your shoulders for me and then squeeze them together. So I want everybody to over-exaggerate shoulders together, no roundness. And then check on those low abs again, make sure they're still in. Right hand to the top of your mat, left leg back. And then if you want, lift them both up, bird dog position. Option to bring that left knee towards your right elbow to your left knee, but don't end up curling back like that, right? Just a nice neutral spine and then bird dog. Neutral and bird dog. If touching your elbow to your knee causes roundness, then don't go that far. Good. One more time. And bring it down. Woo, shake that out. Back of the neck is long. Left hand to your low abs. Pull them in. Shoulders out of your ears. Left hand to the front, right leg to the back. Arms up, bird dog. Option to stay there or bring everything close together. But if touching means you go into a rounded spine, then just go to that neutral with elbow and knee a little apart. And bring that down. Shake that out, and we get to sit down. Well, I'm well warmed up and kind of exhausted already. Hopefully you guys felt all of that. Again, awareness in our shoulders. We started out with a strengthening series, right? Building our bones, arms, legs, all the good stuff. So we're going to start by just walking those feet back and allowing ourselves to roll down as much as possible, a vertebra at a time. Then we're going to bring that left knee into the chest. We're going to stretch that right leg out, flex through the heel, and keep bringing that left knee in nice and close for a little stretch here. Check your shoulders. If they lifted up, drop them down. If that popped your ribs up, pull them down. Nod yes with the back of the neck. Then extend that left leg straight up in the air, just a little stretch here. Flex the toes back towards your face, and then bring that foot onto the ground, right leg back, left leg out, flex through the heel, right knee into your chest, pull it in nice and close. Back of the neck is long, ribs are pulled down, and then we'll extend that leg up nice and straight, point those toes, flex through that heel, point those toes, bend that knee, foot on the ground, and left knee comes back in. We're going to hug it in. So a moment ago, we did our little bird dog position. We're going to extend that right leg up, and we're going to take that left arm overhead. And a minute ago, when we were doing bird dog, it kind of looked like this, right? Only the ceiling was the floor was the ceiling. So that's where we are, and it turns into single leg stretch. Everything together on the inhale, exhale, left toes, right arm, inhale center. You can stay with your head down and in line with your spine. It's good feedback to keep that head there. You're welcome to lift it up, but you certainly don't need to. Notice when you lift it up, do you create that roundness in that upper back area that I don't need practice rounding? Good, hug those knees in, curl that spine, curl that tailbone under in a tight little ball, and then go ahead and put those feet on the ground, arms reach overhead, let those ribs pop up for a second. Deep breath in, on the exhale, bring the arms out in a T position and settle those ribs back down so that you're back in that neutral spine. You're gonna lift those hips up for bridge, and then we're gonna walk back onto our tippy toes and see if we can put our hands underneath our hips and lift them even higher. So now I'm arched, but I'm gonna pull the ribs down and in so that I'm not arched, I'm in more neutral, and then I'm gonna move my hands out from under me. So probably a slightly higher bridge than you might be used to. Do your best here. Abs in, ribs down, glutes squeezing, and then left leg up in the air. We'll point to lower and flex to lift. Inhale, point lower, exhale, flex, lift, neutral spine. A lot of stability on that right side, all the way from the ankle into the glutes and the hamstring. 2 more. Good. Left knee in, toes come down. Make sure those hips didn't start to sag. Deep breath in, extend that right leg up and lower and lift. Good, right knee in, bring it down, hug those knees in. Let's get a little quick hamstring stretch here. So both knees in, grab behind the hamstrings, pull the knees down, flex the heels towards the sky. Maybe you can even reach and pull those toes back with the knees bent. Flex the heels towards the sky. Woo! You are welcome to try and straighten those legs out and still hold the toes if that's happening, or ankles if that's not. And let's bring those legs together and bring the hand over to the left side. Lift yourself up, but make sure as you lift yourself up, by the way, roll your tailbone back down. As you lift yourself up, did your shoulders round? Let's squeeze them back. And that should bring your left leg closer. We don't want to focus on how low this right leg goes. We want to focus on keeping the chest lifted to the left leg. And we're just going to give it a little flex instead of the typical pulse so that you feel that deep stretch all the way down the leg. Right leg comes in. Again, tailbone not curled up, but down nice and flat. Grab that right leg, maybe even reverse your grip. Boop, boop. Lift yourself up, squeeze your shoulder blades, flex through that heel. Feel that deep stretch. Switch again, flex through the heel. Switch again and flex. Inhale to switch, exhale to flex. And we're going to relax and bring the head down. We're going to let it rock side to side. And then we're going to stack our legs in tabletop, arms out in a T position, palms open to the sky, back of the neck long. Pull the ribs down, staple them to your spine. Toe touch exercise. Be super conscientious that that low back doesn't lift and that those ribs stay flat. Beautiful. Quick break, knees in, and then stack them up. Slow double leg stretch. Legs open into a little froggy position on the inhale. Exhale, head, neck, and shoulders float off the ground. Inhale, point the toes, shoulders out of your ears. Exhale, flex the heels, reach the arms by your ears. Inhale, reach for the toes, whether it's just simply here, or if you lift yourself halfway, or if you come all the way up, teaser type position, and then exhale down. If you have to rock and roll to get there and use momentum, don't do that, please. Knees are stacked. Here we go. Deep breath in, legs open. Exhale, head, neck, and shoulders float off the ground. Shoulders out of your ears. Inhale, point the toes, stay strong. Exhale, flex the heels, arms reach overhead. Inhale, point, lift, reach, or just halfway up. Exhale, down. Inhale, knees open. Exhale to float and lift. Inhale, point the toes. Exhale, flex the heels, arms reach. Inhale, point, lift, reach. Exhale, down. Inhale, knees open. Exhale to lift. Inhale to point. Exhale to flex and reach. Inhale to point and lift. And exhale down. Again, knees open on the inhale. Exhale, we lift. Inhale, point the toes. Exhale, flex the heels, arms reach. Inhale, point, lift, reach. Exhale down. Inhale, open. Exhale, lift. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Inhale, reach. Exhale, down. I want you to do 2 more on your own for me, please. It's 6 steps, so you have 12 moves. And just alternate the breathing if it's confusing for you. And then when you finish that last one, hug those knees in, then open the knees again, reach through and grab those ankles. Shoulders out of your ears, heels together, deep breath in. Exhale, rolling into the seal. Flap your flippers together 3 times. Check your shoulders, squeeze them up together at the top, and then you're welcome to add your seal sound. Last time, stay up in your seal, roll the shoulders out of your ears, back of the neck is long, hold this balance. Good, good, good. Then you're going to stay in that balanced position, bring your knees together, lift them up. Grab hold of the backs of the hamstrings and see if you can pull that roundness out of your shoulders, drop the shoulders out of your ears. Open those knees, open those legs. Bring those heels together, bring those knees together. Let go. Good. Left leg up and bring it down. Right leg up and bring it down. Both legs up, arms overhead. These were gradations. Bend those knees. Sit tall, sorry about that. Lift your hips up, do a little dip, and then send your hips behind you. Make sure that your shoulder blades are together. So my knees are really bent, so I'm sitting really tall. Remember that posture we talked about earlier? Are your hips and your shoulders and your ears in alignment? And then keep the hips and the shoulders in alignment with a hinge, right? So they're still in alignment, but they're on a diagonal. I didn't let something get ahead of the other. Then you can flex your toes back and bring yourself into that spine stretch, but still keep in mind, my ears want to go ahead of my shoulder to help me feel like I'm going deeper into it, but I'm going to try and keep those ears over my shoulders. I'm going to try and keep the shoulders, even though they're on an angle, obviously they're ahead of the hips, but on the same line, not rolled back from them. And then just reach for whatever you can. It might feel like a slightly different spine stretch than usual with checkpoints like that. And then we'll sit up tall. We're going to bring those feet together and sit for our roll down position. We're going to hinge back in the roll down. Now I want you to stay here. Just a minute ago, we did a hinge forward and we made sure our ears were over our shoulders. Mine are in front. I can see that. So I'm going to have to tuck my chin and I'm going to have to come up a little higher because otherwise I turn into that. So ear over your shoulder and then shoulders basically in line with your hips, not ahead of them, right? So we're back in that neutral position, abs drawn in, ribs pulled down, but when I pull my ribs down, I have to make sure I don't cave those shoulders. And this is all isometric. Now let go, shoulders drop away, head in line with your spine, but not lifted and dropped back, if that makes sense. And now I'm just hanging out here and suddenly the roll down feels a lot more challenging to me because I didn't get to do this. Are you doing that? Holding here for 4, 3. I want you to imagine you have a string attached to your belly button and that's what pulls you up. Whew, sit tall. Ouch. We're going to do that again. Exhale, hinge back, check. Ears over your shoulders, not ahead of them. Shoulders in a line with those hips, not ahead of them. And then hold. Ribs down. Holding, holding. And roll it up. Inhale, open. I don't know. This class feels extra hard to me today. I'm back again. Stupid form. Ears over your shoulders, shoulders in line with the hips, not ahead of them. Back of the neck is long, ribs pulled down and in. And from here, I want you to go back and down 1/4 of an inch without curling, right? So you can't break at the rib cage. It's hinging at the hips. 3, 2, and 1. Come on up. We're gonna slump. So stretch those legs out, hinge forward, and then go into a long slump. Let that head drop. Space behind at the back of the neck. You might really feel that bone at the top of the spine that likes to round. So as we come up, I want you to keep your fingers on that. As you stack your vertebra, make sure when you come all the way up that it's no longer rounded backwards. It slides down in line with the rest of the vertebra. And now you should be sitting very, very tall. From that tall position, separate your feet, elongate through your spine, arms to the side, and all we're going to do is a little hinge forward. We're not going to go very far, but I want you to feel how that part of that spine, you want to keep it in a nice line. Shoulders back and down. Woo! And then we're coming back through center. All right, we're going to lie all the way down in a long straight line so that when you look down, you can't see your toes. Your arm is underneath your ear. And then, of course, you lift your waistline to create that little mouse house. Ribs pulled down and in. Top leg is going to lift up. And actually, you know what? For what we're going to do, we get to cheat a little bit. Put your hand back down, hinge at the hips. So now your feet are actually ahead of you. Sorry. Because we're going to do side kick. So lift that waistline up, lift that top leg up, flex through the heel, bring it forward, give me an inhale, kick it, exhale, reach it long and slow, and make sure as it moves forward and back, it doesn't go up and down. So bring it forward, flex, give me a kick, point to reach. Exhale, kick, is the waistline still lifted, and reach. And we kick, and reach, and kick, and reach. Doing your best Stay really quiet through the hips. My waistline wants to drop whenever that leg comes forward. So keep that in mind. So you really have to use those obliques to not let that happen. And relax for a second. All right. Bend that bottom knee and bend that bottom elbow. So you're almost in a side plank position, but line them up. So this knee has to tuck back, shoulder in line, and then you do come up in that side plank position. From there, top leg, inhale, kick, kick, exhale, reach. And again, lots of stability. This hip wants to droop, lift it up. Couple more. Last time. Oh, bring that down. We get to do those two things on the other side. So come on down, please. Long spine, waistline lifted. Glue your legs together, hand down for support. Lift both legs up and move them to the front corner of your mat. Keep that waistline lifted. Top leg lifts, and we flex, flex. Inhale, point, or sorry, exhale, point, reach. Inhale, point, flex, flex. Exhale, reach. Inhale, kick, kick. Exhale, reach. Check out what wants to happen in that torso. It wants to move. Don't let it. And relax. Okay, bottom knee bends, as does bottom elbow. Shoulder out of your ear, and now take that knee back, right? So it's not in front of you. Lift up, grow tall out of that shoulder, and then as you're ready, come on to that side. By the way, my foot is off the ground also of that leg. All right, top leg is going to lift, and we kick, kick, and reach. This hip wants to drag, so be conscientious about that. And bring it down. Stay where you are and take that bottom leg in front. Take that top leg in front of the bottom knee, right? So it's not across my body. This hip is still on the ground, so push it down and then pull that leg across. And then switch that up. Make sure that as you walk that heel across, you don't walk it so far that you roll off that leg completely, or hip. Pull it across at the knee, but push the hip down. And relax. All right, from there, let's go all the way over onto our abs. Stretch those legs out, let the forehead rest on the hands for a minute, point the toes, bring them down, point the toes, bring them down. Lift those knees, bring your arms down beside you, palms face the ceiling. First thing, lift the shoulders up, engage those muscles we talked about earlier in class. Bring your head in line with your spine, lift your kneecaps, lift your belly button, keep your toes on the ground, slide your knuckles along the side of your thighs so that you lift. But check it out and make sure that your head didn't tip up or drop down. Try and keep it in line with your spine, and then press the palms to the sky to bring those shoulder blades a little closer together, but reach them down your spine and relax. Inhale. Exhale, lift everything except for your toes. Reach through those arms, press the palms to the sky, and bring it down. Inhale. Exhale, lift, press, inhale, hold, check your alignment, head in line with those shoulders, and bring it down. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift, stretch, reach, back of the neck is long, reach. Bring it down one more time. Knees up, belly button up, abs in. Lift, stretch, reach, palms to the sky, and relax. Woo. Bring your knees wide and just windshield wiper those legs side to side. All right, bring those knees together, but bent knees. Bring those heels in towards you and take your right hand and grab your right ankle. First thing I want you to notice is two things may have happened. Did your right knee move to the right? If it did, glue it back to the left. And then the other thing is, I now have a gap under my hips. So all I'm going to do is straighten my left leg to reduce that gap. But now I still have a gap under the right hip. So I'm going to press the right hip down. See how I push that down? Instead of rocking off of it, I rock onto it, and then I tuck the hips under. So we're going to get that nice quad stretch that we worked at the beginning of class. We're going to get those hip flexors. You might even feel this all the way down into your knee. And then the last thing I want you to do, my right shoulder is rolled forward, so I want you to lift that up. And then straighten the right leg. Then the left knee, grab the ankle. And again, my knee scooted to the left, so I have to scoot it back in. Now my hip is piped up on the left, so I have to push that hip down. So it's a pelvic tilt, a really strong pelvic tilt. And then from there, I push that down, and then I roll that shoulder open. And then relax that. And we're coming up. We're going to stagger for our cow cat. So left hand forward, right knee forward, and we'll cow forward and cat back. Again, just mobility here. Nice. And then we'll switch it up. Right hand forward, left knee forward, cow and cat. Beautiful. All right. And then we are coming over in a side bend position. So support yourself on your elbow. Top leg crisscross at the ankles in front of your bottom leg. Make sure you have a bend in your knees. And when you're down, your legs are apart, right? So your knees are apart. This shoulder, protect it by pushing it back, lifting up out of it. Engage those lats and use them. We've been checking that ear to shoulder alignment all day. Where is that ear relative to your shoulder? So try and get that ear over your shoulder. And then as you're ready, you're going to straighten your legs as you come up without moving your feet. Then you come down, you can either hover, you can tap, or you can rest, and then lift back up. So it's either a hover, a tap, or a rest, and up. And bring it down. Other side. So if you want extra support, feel free to fold that mat so you get a little extra elbow support. Bend your knees, top leg goes in front of the bottom one. And again, we start with the knees bent and apart. Line this shoulder up, lift up out of it, engage those lats, ear over shoulder. And then as you're ready, lift those hips, straighten the legs. Option to simply hover and then come back up. Option to tap and come back up. Option to come all the way down and come back up. If you feel it in your shoulder, then just do a hover, right? Don't come all the way down. And relax. Woo. All right, come on up. We're just going to do a nice little mermaid here. So left leg is going to go in front and right leg off to the side. Then you'll probably notice that you're leaning a little to the left. So I want you to sit up, come off that glute and push that sucker out from under you. So you feel like your thigh is off to that side a little bit. All right, arms. We're coming all the way up. We're just going to go for it here, right? Hands together. You can even have them in prayer position. You can interlace them and do either Charlie's Angels or candlestick, whichever your point of reference is. Grow tall, lift up out of those ribs, but then pull the ribs down. Ears right over your shoulders. And then we tip over to the left, holding, and then coming back up. Up and over, inhale. Exhale, lift. Come up, bring your hands down and look at them. Whichever thumb is on top, switch it. Whichever pinky is on bottom, switch it, and then make all the other fingers do the same. Now, switch your legs. Uh-oh, I have to pull my glutes out from under me, so check out, see which thumb is where. Pull those glutes out from under you, and then go back to that weird stance. Oh, yep, they're all there. Grow tall, tall, tall through your spine, but then pull the ribs down, and we go up and over, and back to center. And relax. All right, roll on back over onto your spine, straighten out your left leg and cross the right ankle over it so the knee is pointed to the sky. And then just take your right hand and tip that right leg open. Left hand on the left hip, right hand on that right inner thigh, passive figure 4 stretch. Then reach down, grab the outside of that right knee, pull it up towards your left shoulder. You should feel a nice stretch across that hip, an area we just worked, and then right arm out to the side. And then gently bring that right knee all the way across your body, big twist. While you're over there, tuck your left knee behind your right, and use that left knee to push down to deepen the twist and to bring it a little more into that outer hip. Use your left elbow, come back through center, keep your knees crossed how they are, reach down, grab your left shin, arms into a T, knees drop to the right, just as they are. Use your right elbow, push everything back through center and drop the knees to the left, just as they are. Use that left elbow, push everything back through center, keep the left knee bent, hug that right knee in, extend it up in the air, point your toes, flex the heel, point and flex side to side, give me some circles, and then reach through that leg. As you're going down, I want you to imagine that you're reaching for the wall, bring the leg down, flex through the right heel, put the left leg next to it, and hopefully that right leg feels longer and flatter. All right, bring that left knee in, bring it across, put the foot on the ground, and then pivot it open, left hand on the inside of the left inner thigh, right hand on the right hip. Push them apart. Then reach down, grab that left knee, bring it across towards your right shoulder, big stretch on that outside of that hip, left arm to the side, nod yes, drop that knee to the right, please. While you're there, bend that right knee and tuck it behind the left and allow the weight of that leg to push that leg even closer to the ground. Use your right elbow, bring everything back up through center, hug those knees in, reach for that right shin. Arms back into that T, knees drop left. And then again, back through center and knees drop right again. Flex through that right heel, bring that left leg back through center. Actually bend that right knee, sorry about that. Extend that left leg up, point and flex and point. You need windshield wipers and circles. And then reach as you lower that leg and then go ahead and straighten the right leg out beside it. and maybe they feel a little more even. Arms reach up overhead and let the ribs pop. Then on the exhale, pull your ribs down. Neutral spine, not tucked, right? Neutral. So we're lying on the ground. So hips and shoulders and ears should be in alignment, unless you tipped your chin up, right? So beautiful straight alignment, arms up by your ears. Just hold this stretch, but keep pulling those ribs down, abs in. And then we're going to meet on hands and knees as always. You can either do a roll up to get there, or you can roll over onto your side to get there. And we're going to do that big undulating cow cat. So big hands forward, inhale forward and exhale back. And then walk the hands about halfway back and continue. And then walk them back a little farther and continue. And then finally bring them right underneath you, cow cat. And then cow, tuck your toes, pull your abs in, hover your knees, hold for 4, strength again, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, bring those hips up. Let's pedal out those feet. So a lot of mobility through those feet and ankles and shins. And then walk it back and hang, bend your knees, long tailbone. So stick that tailbone up, pull those abs in, hands on your thighs. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And bring it up. Nice job, you guys. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. A little more trivia here. For those of you who watched the movie The Matrix,